Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and start watering the plantitas. I am fertilizing as well. And by the way, these little jars, we don't use it for drinking, this for the things that, you gotta like use it for like plants and the fish tank. This has been watered a lot, but I'm gonna give it a little bit more water because it has a little bit of nutrients. Peace lilies are always so thirsty. And it's honestly in a small pot, and I feel like it's very root bound because it keeps drying out so much. We're gonna water this Chinese evergreen. It's called a golden bay. I can see a little bit of dead foliage as well, so that will need to be cleaned out later on. I kind of left the ZZs and the snake plants right there. I like how that looks. They're low maintenance. Don't really need cash pots in the bottom because like they're drought tolerant. And actually, top watering them is going to benefit them a lot more than bottom watering. I consider also like having cash pots or like saucers. You can see a little bit of the stuff from the water on the spray. I'm gonna mop later on, but yeah, because like I think when they have cash pots and plant saucers, it's like bottom watering because there's water from the bottom and they're gonna suck it up later on. But yeah, so let me get a little bit more water because I already went out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of like vibe. I had to do some plant chores and I was dying to like shine some plants, especially that monstera. And I mean, that monstera was one of the big ones that I really wanted to shine. I think that looks so beautiful whenever you shine them. This Scandaptus exotica is so beautiful. Love these massive leaves, but it starts getting smaller and smaller. I mean, they're still pretty good size, but it's gonna get smaller and smaller. That's just how they do. This beautiful marble queen photos. It's like a snow cream, marble queen. They're literally the same thing with some parts that have reverted. I mean, it was reverting to a jade, but you can see a little bit of variegation right there again. So it's getting some light. I just put these grow lights on literally last night because these plants are a little bit in low light and I want them to do a little bit better. Doesn't look the best, but actually it's like little spotlights. I think it looks kind of nice. So we're gonna go ahead and just fertilize it. And yeah, you can see, look at this new leaf. So pretty. And then we're gonna water this one too. Again, I just watered a lot of these plants last night. They keep drying out though. I don't know why. Let me get more water. They keep drying out really fast. I mean, we did left, so they're probably just really, really thirsty. Get my water. Ready to finish? Ooh, one jar.
It's a little spill.
Oh yeah, boyfriend's recording too. He's gonna help me a lot.
Yes.
After this, we're gonna go to the greenhouse and check on the plants. I'm gonna bring some plants. I'm kind of excited. I see the greenhouse as like a nursery, like as in like when the plants don't look so good, I put them in the greenhouse. Like I have some plants that looked really, really bad, and now they're doing amazing. So kind of excited to bring them here back. I'm still gonna leave a lot of plants over there. You can see a new leaf coming in right there. It's so cute. Okay, let's get more water, fertilizer. We can also fertilize the monstera too. There's not a lot of plants right now. I mean, there's some good amount of plants. There's like 50 maybe, right? Like 50 plants.
Like 50.
I don't know how much is in the greenhouse. Not including the vegetables. Like how much do you think is in the greenhouse?
Maybe 1,000.
Not including the vegetables.
Like off 150, 200.
Okay, let's go. I'm gonna go water this one too. This is my ZZ. And she's like an overachiever right now. Literally, she's been here for so long. Just with these grow lights. New growth. New growth. There's a new one over there in the back. And I believe I saw another one. Yeah, it's over here. Right there. Coming up like right there. That one. The tip of the little watering thing. There's a lot of new growth. So we're gonna go and fertilize her. Give her some nutrients for doing such an amazing job.
Try to focus. Hold on. There you go. There you go.
Okay. And then this beautiful Khalid in the back. She's really not so finicky with tap water. I mean, you can see a little bit of crispiness, but it's not like other plants that will like literally get so mad if you give it tap water. We're gonna water this golden pothos above too. She needs a really good cleaning. But I'm really surprised how golden pothos, I know it's common knowledge, but it's just really impressive to see it like in real life, in person. How they're just using these lights from the kitchen, and there's still variegation, like really beautiful and impressive. So golden pothos for the win. Ignore the dead foliage. This one too at the very top. We just took off, well, my boyfriend took off the garlands from Christmas.
They were there for a good
For
minute.
so long. I just been so like, it still has water. Just been so depressed recently. And it's just, I don't know. Honestly, just laziness. I don't want to trying to find an excuse, but it's just laziness. Just too high. But yeah, get more water. So people ask me what kind of fertilizer I use. I use Mega Grow because like it's not the best, but it gets the job done. Let's go water them instead over here. It gets the job done, which is what I appreciate. And it's cheap, and you can get it almost anywhere. So get it on that. So we're gonna water this one too. Ignore all of the mess, you guys. Little behind the scenes. The snake plant's still doing pretty good in there, surprisingly. I'm gonna water this one. Jula. This pot is way too small. It keeps drying out way too fast, and then I potted up way too high. So it makes it a little bit hard. On the bottom water it. Makes it hard to water this baby. It's very messy, just gonna mess this part too. It's on my couch spot so I can water it. Okay. I have a little bit more water. I think there's some more plants in the living room that I can go ahead and water. I think the new plants look so cute. This variegated Tradescantii. Gorgeous. String of dolphins from the beach. And then the cute little snake plants. Somebody asked me what it's called. I'm not sure what it's called. I need to look it up. I need to find out the labeler. I don't know where I lost it.
It's in the pet room.
Okay. Yeah, cause like people are asking me about plants, and I don't know the plants still, so that's gonna help a lot. She's blooming again, and it makes me sad because I gotta cut off the flowers. They're really, really toxic for cats, the pollen. So gotta keep the king safe. I say king because like he kind of looks like the Mufasa, like from Lion
No,
King.
not Mufasa. He looks like I guess Simba, like an older version of Simba.
Yeah. Literally, look at this. This looks so good. Oh my god. This is called Hoya Chelsea. Or Crinkle 8 because I do see some bumps in it. They kind of look the same to me, but so pretty. This one looks so insane, like chocolate. Like look, it looks like rubber. No.
It looks like rubber.
Oh, it's beautiful. But that is basically it for today, you guys. Beautiful leaves. I love me good pothos. Beautiful scandapsers as well. Really surprised that one's still doing really, really good. So that's basically it for today. Thank you so much for doing some planty chores with me. Saying positive vibes to each and every single one of you guys. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!